Right now, I'm headed to Terryville, Connecticut to go back to the Corner Collective. I don't know if you saw my past vlog featuring Torrington, but it was the first stop in that vlog. And I want to go back because they had so much good stuff. So they might have new inventory. I bet they do. So let's go check it out. Okay, I'm here. Okay, I see some old sleds and a wide selection of chairs. I like that little wooden side table, the one with the basket on it. And I like this little white cabinet. That could be really cute, but it's $75, more than I want to spend. And yeah, just some other little miscellaneous chairs and bits and pieces. So let's go inside. Yep, this place is as good as I remember. I like this cabinet full of little figurines. They're very kind of cheerful. This is a lovely planter. I like the nice white milk glass plates. Oh, the chair that I liked last time is still here, and I still wish I had a place for it. Oh, so many good things to look at. Oh, this is a wonderful price for this Limoges set. I wish I could use it. I already have too many patterns going. What a deal. I love all the blue and white plates. There's so many different ones to look at. I'm gonna zoom in on my very favorite, this guy with the sailboat. So pretty. Another great china set. This store is full of beautiful china at great prices. I said that in my last video, but it is still true. I love this collection of plates. I would never think to group them together, but I think they look wonderful. Somebody should just snatch them and then hang them exactly like this somewhere in their house. I love this lamp. It's pricey, but worth it. This wooden trunk is great, and I love the black one below it. It's got some very interesting metal details. $100 is more than I'd want to pay, but I do think it's a fair price. And I love this collection of fern prints. Those would look really nice in the same wall. These baskets are great. They're really big and quite heavy. They'd make a nice statement on a dining room table. I have this Hitchcock side table. Mine is not as shiny. I better polish it. I thought that compote would look beautiful as an accent piece on somebody's dining room table or sideboard. This plant stand really caught my attention, and I think $30 is a very fair price. That has real potential. This stack of china is so pretty. Let's see the maker, Wedgwood. Wedgwood is great, made in England. I just love it. This lampshade is so custom looking and special. I love a pop of black. This pretty tray is something nice to look at. I like the lace inlay and the butterfly details. This pitcher and bowl is really special, and some of the little pieces that accompany it. No marking on the bottom. I still love these lamps. I saw them last time. They are pretty. I don't have a place for them. What a pretty, pretty mirror. I think this is a great utilitarian piece, and I think $75 is really fair for it because you pull down the top and you see there's all these little cubbies and compartments and lots of space for writing, which is great, as well as shelves on the top for books or collectibles, and then shelves again on the bottom for more storage. This is a great little brass tray. I've been wanting a brass tray for the longest time. 10 bucks. Not bad. There's lots of really sweet vintage books. I always love to see Nancy Drew representing. cute little silver platter. I think this little wood stool would be great as a plant stand, a seating option, or even like a little side table. These standing lamps are super nice. I like this one particularly. 30 bucks is not bad, but it needs wiring and a shade, and my cats broke the last one I brought into the house. I think $30 for this little caned Eastlake seat is a great price. And I love all of these Hitchcock chairs. I think they were $100 each, if I'm not mistaken, but really nice. I've been seeing these around quite a bit lately. These silk lampshades are really, really nice. I like the swag detail. And the sucker for old typewriters. Those are nice ones. There's lots of really good lamps in this store. This frame is really nice. And so is this one. They're perfect for bigger size pictures like 8x10s. Very, very good price, $5. I love these little carved wooden vases. There was like a whole collection of them and they looked so nice all grouped together. I didn't have a particular place for them, but I thought they were really nice. I just kept checking them out again and again. They didn't have enough room for me to resell them and make any kind of profit, but that just goes to show that the price was so fair. This was a really cute hanging cupboard. It wasn't really quite the right color for my house, but I love that it has a door so you could put things that are fragile inside, and that it also has the shelves on the side. I thought the dining room table decked out with china looked lovely. These towels are adorable. Look how cheerful they are. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Not in perfect condition, but who cares when they're so adorable. This table has a whole stack of fabulous blankets. I love this green one. I love this Afghan, and the colors are really nice. What a good price. And I have this blanket actually in my library. I paid a lot more for mine. It's wool. Here's some other just knitted and crocheted handmade blankets at great price points. So if you're in the market, you should come down here and do it pretty quickly. Cute Hitchcock bed. I think it's a full. I don't see a price on it, but it's a nice piece. I love that decanter, the like gold details. Very mid-century. And I love these 1960s commemorative glasses. They are so much fun. I know I would break it immediately if I brought it home. And I love these like pretty green and white flower bowls. These trays are excellent for makeup storage if you're in need. I highly recommend them when you see them. And I could really use a glass compote so I can make tiramisu. This mirror was so beautiful in person. I wish you could see it for yourself. At $125, it's a little bit expensive, but honestly, worth it, at least in my opinion. I like this little planter with the feet, and I have this print. I got mine for free because somebody gave it to me. These would be great for holding beer, although my husband has one and he puts hot coffee in it. I loved this light pinky set, almost with like a little bit of a peach undertone to it. So many pretty pieces, and I think they could be really functional as well. I'm gonna go back up to the top in a second. And see that all these jars would be great for holding cotton balls or soaps or Q-tips, all kinds of things. And I love this bookcase or this display case with glass doors. It's a really nice piece. I thought this tea set was adorable. $15 for the set. You can't get a lot better than that. I love all the teacups. They're so pretty. I love all the different patterns and shapes all together. They're really fun to look at. I'm trying to decide if I have a favorite. Yep, I have a favorite. Here it is. My grandmother used to have a little glass bouquet that was just like this in her living room. And I like this little painted picture. it's super cute, especially standing on that little easel. And these glass candlesticks are nice. They have like a really nice shine. And I like this indented vase. It has a great color. Oh my God, how cute is that planter? And I like the wooden one as well. Look at that one, so unusual. These double planters are nice in green. I mean, if you're into plants, you could not do better than to come to this store and pick up some really unique containers. I like this. These drip glaze mugs are really pretty. Ooh, I love the brass boxes. There's so many pretty different ones to choose from. I like them all arranged together like that. Hardy Boys. I was always more of a Nancy Drew girl myself, but I'm here for the Hardy Boys. Here's some other great vintage books, and there's Nancy Drew. So glad to see Nancy Drew. These are lovely. I love all the glass details. I just can imagine how easy it would be to chip them though. And I love the covered butter dishes. I have this brown and white one, but I paid a lot more for mine. I like those little tulip vases. I've always wanted one of those. Glass is really pretty. It's such a nice big collection of it. And this piece right here in the back is especially nice with the clear handle and the ruffle top. Yeah, that's a really nice piece. Very, very pretty. These little picture frames with the sailboats in them. Very vintage. Those little ducklings. And this carved wooden lion is great. There's a carved antelope in the background. I don't know if you see it. And that bunny would be great for Easter. No particular maker. Oh, and I see a clog. Is it Delft? It is Delft. I've seen so many imposters lately, but that one is Delft. This is a lovely embroidered tray. Those birds are so sweet. That fish platter's interesting. And some really unique glass vases. This drink stand was super different, very mid-century. Picked up a coffee on my way home, and I am so excited to show you the things I found. Before I do, I just want to give you my overall impressions, because sometimes you can go to an antique store or thrift store, consignment store, and really think it's fantastic and really get excited about it. And then you go back and it's like a, you know, not what you remembered. I was so pleasantly surprised that not only was Corner Collective just as good as it was the last time I was there, they had a lot of turnover in their inventory, and they had a lot of new stuff coming in. So there were lots of new things to look at, even though I had only been there like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. It wasn't that long. You know, there's always that danger that you're just gonna see the things you saw last time, but that didn't happen at all. They had lots and lots of new things. The owner, Jim, is so nice. He always stops when he did this the first time and he did this the second time. He greets each customer, makes sure you have the lay of the land. And as I said in my first video about the store does not look big, but it's really big. He said it was 4,000 square feet. And it is packed with good things. So you really have to take your time and look really carefully, because you don't want to miss anything. It's not one of those situations where you have to like dig and you have to hunt and go through boxes. It's not like that. Everything is organized and arranged. It's just a lot of it to take in. So you want to make sure you really do that. The prices continue to be really fair, and the other thing that I appreciated was even the things that were there the last time I went to the store, they had been like moved around and rearranged. So even that stuff felt like new and fresh. And I like that Jim takes the time, and I said this to him when I was there, I like that he takes the time to do some staging of things. Like he had a dining room table, but he didn't just show the dining room table. He had it decked out with beautiful china and a cut crystal compote and the whole 9 yards. So you could even imagine that table all set up and ready for your guests. Little touches like that can go a long way, especially for people who aren't as accustomed to living with antiques and aren't always as sure how to use them. So anyway, I'm babbling. Let's get on to the good stuff. Okay, if the lighting looks different, it's because I just closed the shutters because I had the sun coming right into my eye. Okay,
So this is the first thing I got. This pretty little brass box. It is adorable. Has this little latch to open it up inside. And there's some very tired looking red felt inside. But I thought this box was really charming. It was $10 and it's very like carved. Well, not carved, I guess it's engraved. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was so pretty. What a like little versatile piece that you could just pop anywhere and it would just add a little accent. So I picked this up. It was made in China. I will not be keeping these pictures in here, but it's a nice big brass frame for only $5. And it will be great for 8x10 photos. And I have some things in mind that I will put there, but it's in excellent condition and I will be using this for sure. Next up, they had so many pretty teacups and saucers, and my grandmother used to collect them, so they look so nice when they're all grouped. I don't collect them in that way, so I tend to just kind of appreciate them and then move on. But this little one really got my attention, and you will not be surprised to hear that it was Limoges. And it was $4. So I picked it up, and you know what? I'm drinking some coffee right now. I think I should try out the new teacup. What do you think? Let's do it. And let's see if my coffee tastes better if I drink it out of a Limoges teacup. Cheers. You know, I don't know if the coffee tastes better, but I definitely feel more glamorous. If you hear a lot of paper rustling, I'm going to apologize for that in advance. My cats love to play with like the newspapers and all the packaging that my antiques come in. So they are having a party on the floor right now. I bought this pretty little boat print with the brass frame. And there was a second one as well. I'm often looking for smallish little things to put with groupings in a gallery wall. And I sometimes get blank spaces where those exist. So I thought these could fill in those spots really nicely. I'm thinking, oh guys. I'm thinking of some spots on the top of the stairs leading from the second floor to the third floor. These could be really good there, so I'm gonna try them out. Next up, I bought this very dusty glass compote because I've been wanting to make tiramisu and I don't have the proper serving piece for it because you've got to put the Madeleine cookies all around the rim and then fill it in. So you want to be able to like see through it for the maximum effect. All right, coffee break. I'm gonna pretend I'm very fancy and elegant with my teacup and saucer and not some crazy lady on YouTube with cats that are biting her feet and creating total chaos below the camera. Cheers. Do you want to see what a naughty kitty looks like? Here's one. He's naughty, but he's so cute. Next up, I bought this really cool shell planter with feet in brass. It said it was made in India. It was $4. And I thought it was so pretty. Okay, next up, I bought this silver plated 8x10 frame from the International Silver Company. It was $10. It's lighter than you might think. It's got this sort of blue feltish back. It is missing one of the holders, but I think it will stay put just fine. And it could use a little polishing, but I think that is so pretty. And you know, if I tried to buy this new, it would be so much more expensive. So again, frames are one of those really good things to pick up when you see them at thrift stores, consignment stores, antique stores. Always check those out. Even if you don't need one like right in the moment, it's never a bad idea to even just like stash them away because you'd be surprised how they come in handy. And sometimes I've even like just given them away as gifts to people because everybody could always use a frame. Okay, next up is this pretty brass tray with the lace detailing inside it. And you see the little butterfly details on the corners. And this is really interesting because my sister-in-law Meredith bought me a tray just like this, a little bit smaller, with the butterfly details that I love. And the one she bought me has a mirror inside it. And I absolutely love it. It's one of those little pieces that just looks so pretty wherever you pop it in the house. I've moved it to just about every room because it always looks nice no matter what I do with it. But it looks like they removed the mirror. I'm assuming they removed the mirror and included this pretty lace insert. And I really like it. I've been wanting a little brass tray. I have lots of silver trays and I have lots of mirrored trays, but I've been wanting a brass tray and I found this one. I don't know if you can see the engraving in it. It has like a flower engraving. It's a little bit beat up, but I'm gonna try using Brasso, like my husband showed me in a previous vlog, to see if I can clean that up because my feeling is that that might look really nice. And I think it's gonna be a really special piece when it's good to go. This was $10. I'm glad to have it. Okay, last but not least, I'll show this to you in just a minute, but I have a spot in my library where there are 2 chairs that are in front of the fireplace. And I wouldn't want anything like blocking the fireplace, but if we have a large group of people over, invariably people sit there, the chairs are quite comfortable, and then they have nowhere to put their drink. I hate it when people don't have a place to put their drink. So I wanted something small enough that I could easily just sort of move it into that middle section and then move it back out again. I didn't want something that would stay there like permanently, but something really versatile that I could just sort of move all over the room wherever I needed a drink to be propped. So I found this little, it's actually a plant stand. It's brass. Do you see the leg detail? It's really nice. And there's like a plate in here that comes out. And again, it's not in perfect shape. It's gonna need some Brasso, I think. And then I think this is gonna be just perfect in between those 2 chairs. I'll show you what it looks like, but I'd been looking and looking for a little table and I didn't want something that was wood because I feel like there's too much wood in there. And I didn't wanna spend too much money and I didn't wanna buy something new. So I had been really back and forth for a while. This was originally, let me see, was originally $50 and I got it for $30. So my thought was the little brass table I bought could just be plunked down. It needs to be cleaned still, but it could just be plunked down when company's coming. So there's that little spot for drinks. And then when they leave, I can just easily move it away so the fireplace doesn't have an obstacle in front of it. And I would probably just leave it next to one of the slipper chairs like that, and it's out of the way. I can't have a plant here because the cats will kill it, but I just wanted to show you how pretty that looks on the stand. That's really what it's for. It's for a plant, and I think that looks lovely, but not right now. I'm not sure if you'd like to take a peek at this room. It's not super clean right now, but I will show it to you. These are the built-in bookcases that my husband made for me when I first moved in, so I have a space for some of my favorite books. So I call this my room of happiness because this is where I can sit surrounded by my books and be very happy. As I said before, we got this electric fireplace so that we would have the feeling of a fireplace without having all the dust and soot and smoke and work associated with that. This is one of my favorite sculptures in the whole house. And I have my record player here. And this is a really fun piece. This is an old optician's cabinet. I have all kinds of things in here, but it has all sorts of drawers, and the top lifts. How does the top lift? Ah, here it goes. I have books in it right now, but yeah, it's a cool old piece. And above it is Boris. Boris is a stuffed bear, obviously, that we got out of a clean out. Oh, actually, no, it was a gentleman who was going to have an estate sale. My husband went over to look at it because he sometimes does that work. And he offered to just buy it outright from the gentleman with the idea of putting it in our barn. But then I really liked Boris, so he ended up in the library. Next to that, we have these pretty chairs that were my mother's with pillows that I recently thrifted. And this old safe is empty. We don't use it for anything. We just love the old knobs on it and the dial. It does work. And it has this great old writing on it. It's from Boston. And I used to have a really pretty Tiffany style lamp on top of it, but the cats would not leave it alone. So I moved it out just so it wouldn't end up broken. And then we have 3 more paintings. And these curtains, kind of a funny story. I had originally planned to get custom curtains in these windows. There's 4 of them. And after I picked out the fabric and got the price estimate, they were gonna be like, I can't remember exactly, but I think $3,000. So no, thank you. I'm not spending $3,000 on curtains. So instead I found a similar pattern. This is very similar. And these were on sale at Amazon. And I had a credit, so they were free. And I thought free is a much better price than $3,000. Thank you very much. My husband made these white shutters. I think they look really nice. And here's the matching chair. This is my corner of shame. It has a yoga mat that I should be using regularly and don't because I'm lazy. And a lot of books that haven't found a home yet because we still have some areas where we plan to build some shelves. And this is a great old barrister bookcase. I love this. It's a great piece and it holds lots of books. And I have more on top and I have more on bottom and I have some on this ottoman because I have a book issue. And this is my dog's whole basket of toys. Wilson uses these toys a little bit too, but Licorice is the real big toy dog in this household. And then we move over here to this lazy boy chair that was my mother's. I love the nail head trim on the arms. We have this little side table stacked with my books and things that I'm always reading and perusing. That lamp was my mother's. I love these paintings. They are so cool. This is Mount Washington. My husband and I had our weird COVID honeymoon at Mount Washington. So it's kind of sentimental. And this sofa, which we keep covered because the cats and dogs love to lie on it, and we're okay with that. We just want to keep the damage minimized. So we keep a blanket on here, but this is an old sofa that was reupholstered at least 3 times. It's quite old. It's a Margolis piece. So are the side tables. Here's the other one that matches. And this lamp that was my mother's. This is my husband and I right after we got married. And here is the pretty tray I just picked up. I originally put something on it, but then it blocked the design, so I think it's better off alone. We have this standing globe that my husband picked up at an auction. And this chair, which is unbelievably comfortable and has these great goose head details at the arms. We had this recovered when my husband told me he wanted to keep this chair. I almost had a heart attack because it was so dead and beaten up, but we had it reupholstered and now it's awesome. And here is a Margolis coffee table. This is a great coffee table because the sides come up. Here's Licorice with one of her toys. And there's Wilson taking a little nap. We keep these dog gates up because our dogs are not very friendly towards strangers. So when people come over, it's nice to be able to contain them so we don't have any problems. And there's Iris. Over here is another bookcase. I picked this up at an auction. And this old encyclopedia set belonged to my great-grandparents, and my grandfather, as a young boy, made this little shelf for it, which is kind of a fun little family story. Over here we have some more 2 more paintings, and this lovely painting by an artist that I don't know that I picked up at not auction, it was an estate sale. I think I paid 20 bucks for it. It's really nice. We have this old card catalog piece that is so cool. It has all these great drawers, still labeled. And this lovely lamp that is Art Deco. And up here we have the shelf that my husband made with all of my old coronation cups, which as you can see, I collect. And then there are these French doors that lead out into our sunroom. Here's a Margolis plant stand. And this is such a funny piece. This is an old switchboard, which I know is a really random thing to have, and it's dusty, I apologize, but it's so much fun. You can pull out these pieces and they plug in to the switchboard. And all of these little knobs turn. They go up, back and forth, and then here's an old dial. So it's a really fun piece. But I tend to keep this painting here, which is why it's so dusty. I picked this up at Elephant's Trunk last year. We have this old metal sign from New Haven that I love. I've been to this library and reading room. It's still there. It's not for the Young Men's Institute anymore, but what a beautiful place. It's in downtown New Haven, and it's a real treasure. This little Degas reproduction was my mother's, and an old photograph. I think this was from an old theater in New Britain, if I'm not mistaken. An old rotary phone. Next to the switchboard is an old switchboard operator's chair, because of course, where would the switchboard operator sit if not in a chair? And then over here we have an antique barometer. And I think that's about it. That's the room. Here is a little gallery wall going up the stairs from the second floor to the third. And we have this little gap. And I thought the ship prints I bought would look super cute there. And there we go. I think they look really nice. Okay, here is the silver frame. And let's see if we can't polish this up. Okay, and there we are. I thought I would show you how nice the Mikasa piece is cleaned up. And I found out that these are dahlias. I should have known by the layers of petals, and I love dahlias. So I think these are really great, and I think I'll probably sell them as a set, even though you would buy them separately. For right now, I placed the little Limoges teacup right here on the hutch. I think it looks nice with all of the other Valentine's Day decor. I love how this frame has cleaned up. It looks really nice, and there's such a glare, but this is Eric and me without glasses and my son, and this was when we got married. Here you can see I've placed the little brass box, the beautiful planter with feet, and the brass frame that has my grandmother as a young woman on the left side and Jefferson's Rules to Live By on the right side. And I think they look absolutely beautiful. And here's a close-up of that planter. It's so different. And I thought I would try to put the brass tray on the plant stand to build it up and make it look a little bit more like a table, and I think that really works well. Before I go, I'm going to show you some of the pieces from the Corner Collective that I would pick out if I were designing a boy's bedroom. Here are some images I really like from Pinterest. I'd start out by buying a wood or metal headboard and a chest of drawers in a dark wooden finish like walnut or mahogany. I'd probably source them from Facebook Marketplace to get a really good deal. Then I'd go back to Corner Collective and buy this fabulous desk. I would fill the bottom shelves with vintage books and place this gorgeous lamp on top. I would buy the green double planter and fill it with 2 hanging plants and put that next to the lamp. I would pick up either one or both of these typewriters and place them on the chest of drawers. I would take home one of these fabulous Hitchcock chairs and place it next to the desk. The darker finished cane seat chair behind the $35 one is a good alternative if you prefer something plainer. I would place a mirror or a piece of artwork above the desk. I wouldn't use this mirror because it's too ornate for the look I'm going for here, although I really do like it. I would buy this little wooden stool and either refinish it with a darker stain or paint it black.
I would pick up one of these standing lamps to put next to the bed. I like the black one on the left or the brass tone lamp towards the right, and I would use this black shade on top, assuming it fit. If it didn't fit, I would keep the lampshade and select a different lamp because I am all about the lampshade here. Then, depending on the color scheme you prefer, I would either buy this black patterned Afghan blanket or the plaid blanket, or I'd buy them both and alternate them for different looks. I'd also buy the cream knit blanket for extra softness and texture and keep that probably at the foot of the bed. I would place this black trunk at the foot of the bed for storage and interest as well. Finally, I would make a gallery wall out of the fern prints, but first I would use rub and buff to make the frames gold toned instead of silver. Afterwards, I'd pick up a neutral rug and simple window treatments like shutters or a woven rolling shade and call it a day. In terms of wall color, I would keep it pretty neutral, but I might do a dark green accent wall. If you're very daring, you could do a black accent wall. They can be stunning, but I'm not sure I could go through with it myself. Now I wish I had an extra room so I could actually do this project. It could be a boy's bedroom or a guest bedroom, really. Either way, it was fun to imagine.
So I hope you enjoyed my follow-up visit to Corner Collective in Terryville. And I'm wondering, what is your favorite thing that I picked up? And is there anything that I didn't pick up that you think I should have? If so, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. You can hit the notification bell and it will alert you to when I have new videos out, but I can tell you that generally I post my videos on Wednesdays and Fridays at noon Eastern Standard Time. So be on the lookout because I would love for you to join me again. I hope to see you soon.